And hi everyone again. What are we gonna do today? I remember we had some issues the last time. As usual, we're starting up a bit slowly. So, as I can read by the steps and by this stuff, I can actually remember what happened last time. So, the last time we had an issue with controls, that they were not being caught in the right time. I assumed that there is something wrong with beta version of Unity. Ended up, it's not. When I closed the stream and I closed the streaming software and everything was gone, I suddenly figured that the issue was that... What happened to Twitch? I can't see the chat. Huh? Huh. Cool. So now Twitch has some weird new style of stuff. Whatever. So what happened last time was that the controls were lagging behind heavily. Like when I'm moving the mouse, it wouldn't resolve any of clicks. I mean, mouse button up, mouse button down. And that was just terrible. And then when I stopped the stream, I suddenly figured that everything is back to normal. So it looks like the streaming software somehow messes with what is happening in Unity. I will need to figure that out somehow, but turns out it's not such a big deal. But along the way, one of the people in the chat recommended to look into the new input system, and the system is awesome. The system is really good, and also we started migrating there. So now as well we can just complete this process, because we will have to anyway, and the previous input I was using was not something you want to stick with. I was just reading input dot something something. That's not how stuff works anymore. Something like that. Now then, let's get into the controls and do something about it. There are several ways on how you can use the new input system. There is this way that I actually used for now, where you specify which items you want to run, and here in the PC controls I have the public run me on mouse move method. What happened? Couldn't be found. Generate blah blah blah. Something went wrong. Let's just build the application. Make sure that it still works. Yeah, you see there is this lag. This lag is really heavy. And yeah, in general Unity is slightly misbehaving. It's heavily misbehaving. Elves, no, I think it will be about humans. I don't think I will add any elves. Hey, Talas. Hey, Doctor. So, PC controls. Again, something's wrong with Visual Studio Code. It highlights everything is broken. Okay, now it highlights everything is working fine. Good. So I was using this stuff. Holy Grail. What's wrong? Expected project reference to be already loaded for project assembly C#. What? What the hell? Sharp standalone. What is this? So something goes wrong, because you see everything is marked as red. I have no idea why. Unity, Pinky, OmniSharp. The referenced project unity.timeline.editor does not exist. This is something we have an issue with. Does not exist. Call Nicker. Of course, I want him to be here, but he's not for some reason. I've pinged him in chat, but maybe he's sleeping? He must be sleeping sometimes. It's caused by OmniMap VS Code. This issue is caused by an extension. Please file it. OmniSharp. Okay, so I have to remove OmniSharp extension from here. Omni. Huh? This? Ah, okay. Hey, Nicker. So, I'm having a slight issue in here. You see everything is marked as red and stuff just doesn't work. And I have no clue why. I mean, I've tried to find why, but it didn't give me any useful information. And that's not what I wanted to do today. So I'm trying to do this as fast as possible. It shows a lot of errors that some stuff doesn't exist and then it breaks. They say that the reason is this OmniSharp extension I have installed. But OmniSharp is this. Is recommended based on files you recently... Okay, let's try just uninstalling it. Cannot uninstall. Debugger for Unity depends on this. So, okay, I cannot uninstall this stuff, so this recommendation is obviously crap. Please file it with the repository. Blah blah blah. Okay, that's not useful. Editor package is the following to the project CS for each installed package. I've been able to find name. Okay, so they say that the problem is this CS approach and the stuff that they reference in here that is called something. I was actually searching for this timeline editor. So yeah, they say that this is the problem because it tries to compile this stuff. Yeah, VS Code. Sure, bugs. I've never seen anything like that, even though I'm working with VS Code quite often with C#. So people are saying that something goes wrong, but nothing useful. I can just comment this block out and we'll see if it works. Come on, this. Let's see if this still builds. Probably I shouldn't create the CS project at all. No point in trying to change it. Okay, so that kind of makes sense, but also there was a setting to not create CS project at all. Maybe I should not create it. How will anything react? This unable to resolve. Okay, so it cannot just resolve any of those CS projects. Actually, it didn't recreate the stuff. It's still here. Those CS projects must be somewhere. Probably somewhere deep inside Unity. I can do some tricks to this CS project if it is not recreated for them to be included properly. Or I can just comment this all out. Let's see what will happen next. Unity itself doesn't use the CS proj, as far as I know. Yep. So yeah, something is happening, but it doesn't use the CS proj. Yeah, I know that there is an option in Unity to create it or to not create it. But let's see what happens here. Okay, it still doesn't work with less errors now, but that seems to not be the case. Loading, 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 loading. Successfully loaded project, then something, and then this stuff just doesn't work. That's cool. That's funny. Because the input system doesn't exist. Haha. Because it was part of something here? No idea. That's weird. And the input system works, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to move some stuff. Okay, anyway, let's really try to create some random file, see if it recreates the project somehow. Temp. Then let's restart VS Code. I can move to Visual Studio, but I'm not sure I want to use it because of some licensing issues. Yeah, so it recreated the CS proj, and it doesn't work. And the problem is not those things, because those are warnings, and it doesn't really matter. The problem is this input system, which is not found. Because input system is a CS proj that it tries to include, but it cannot, because it doesn't exist. I think so. Reference include. A lot of warnings. Okay, warnings are not an issue. The issue is this. Let's remove this file for good. And C controls, Unity input system. Type or name space is not found. Type or space cannot be found. This. It is still not the issue I want to solve right now and right here. May I please have some fast fix for this? Since selected in package manager, preview packages, have you imported it? Yeah, I have it in. Let's double check that I have it imported properly first. Okay, yeah, I have the input system over here, and it is imported, it is up to date. There are some samples, I don't care about those. There is this mouse dot something. Packages, there is just manifest, and there is input system in this manifest, but I have no idea how it's being read. And I can try and open this folder directly and go here. Reference.cache, so it doesn't really build anything. Really? Huh. That's funny. So this stuff doesn't really build stuff. And it doesn't produce this .json stuff that would help me understand what it tries to load. Okay, whatever. We have a lot of reds, but let's just not care about it for now. Because anyways, the problem is me using input system and calling mouse dot something something, and I should not do that. Let's just not do the wrong thing. So yeah, as I was saying before, there is this option to use callback context and this crap. This is not really how I want to use it anymore, because I watched the video you Doom Spirit recommended, and somewhere here in properties, I believe, where was that? Here, inside asset. There was a setting somewhere to produce C# classes for everything, and I'm trying to remember where it was. Probably I shouldn't even try. Generate C#. This. Check the space, find all now, create, awake. So this is a good page, but not the one I expected to see. Manual, whichever. So version support and 1.0.0 preview 5. That's funny because I'm using 1.0.0 preview 6. Player input, send messages, broadcast, invoke C# events, blah blah blah. Action callbacks, that's different thing. Always other than. Creating actions, action editor. Where was that? So this fire action dot performed, it should be a part of something. So fire action dot performed is a part of this block. Still can't see where it is. Fire action dot performed. You must manually enable or disable and actions that are embedded in. Whoa. C# events. It should be this. I'm a bit lost. Evoke C# events now. Events. Meh. Types of events, text events, reading state events. That's all fun and cool, but not something I really wanted to use. I wanted to do the action dot performed stuff. An action doesn't represent an actual response to input by itself. An action informs your code that a certain type of input has occurred. Okay. So they select asset, look into the inspector, Unity. Which one? This? Oh yeah. Here it is. Awesome, thank you. Controls. Let's keep empty namespace. Let's put it into controls. Yay! I was trying to find exactly that. Awesome. So now this stuff should be red and all. Yeah, of course. But we can paint everything else proper colors. Player actions, blah 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 blah. Okay, good. Now, instead of doing this, what I want to do is to move all the... I'm migrating input system into the new version instead of the old input dot something something. We'll use events that Unity will send to me directly and I will process somehow. But here I need to think about a bunch of stuff. First, I need to read mouse clicks anyway from this controller. Second, I will need to subscribe and unsubscribe for some events. Events is something like you say, I want to run this when that stuff happens. So, how do I do that? Should use this somehow. And I need devices, dispose, blah blah blah. Pinky controls. So I should just create the new version of this, or nah. I need a bit of a manual to get through all this. So generate C# class, input action importer, input action there, wait, C# class. There, no. This generates C# scripts that simplifies working with the asset. So there is a bunch of this stuff. Use an action, assets, send messages. One of the most convenient words, cassettes and scripts. To enable this option, generate C# checkbox in the importer properties in the inspector, blah 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 asset, then select apply. You can optionally choose a path name. This generates a C# scripts that simplifies working with the asset. On use, move. So they expect me to manually do something over here, I assume. That's good, they don't. Controls dot my player controls. My player controls the C# class that Unity generated. Okay, good. Here's the data from input and it magically looks up all the maps and actions for us. Okay, good. Let's create one. It's called pinky controls. Okay, got it. This stuff, PC controls. Nope. No. Undo everything. Then, given that this stuff is public, let's call it with capitalized letter. On awake. It's null. Then it's new. Without any parameters. Good. Dot enable. I will not disable it ever for now, because there is no reason for that, I think. Yeah, of course I've modified a lot of files now. Everyone's unhappy about it. Then let's go check what we have here. Dot joystick scheme, player scheme, touch, blah blah blah, pinky system scheme, and input control scheme. Good. Can I call something from there? Yes. No. Meh. Controls dot gameplay set callbacks. This gameplay map. Oh crap. So they say that here here, I will need to select this, and for all this stuff I'll need to say interactions, hold, press. What is the interaction here? I have no clue. Enable or disable C control schemes input. Meh. Picking controls, editing bindings. There should be something like .look or .something, or just something useful. iPlayer actions, on look, on left mouse button. Okay, where's this stuff is used? I see. Do I want to make it better or worse? Yeah, I got it how it works. Can I just directly access this stuff? On a limbo, I just don't want to do this stuff. Name, left mouse button, and player, find action. Public struct, player actions. And let's find references for this. I think it's just easier to look through the code than to actually find manual for this stuff. Public player actions, player. Okay, so they say that if I do this, do they? This stuff. New player actions from this. It's a part of the main class. It's not used anywhere, which makes me wonder if it's adequate at all. And here they use it in a different way. .gameplay.enable, .gameplay. Tell the gameplay action map that we want to blah 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 blah. What? Controls.gameplay.set callbacks. Okay. So this thing says that this player actions is accessed by different means than what I think. So the problem for me with Visual Studio is that I work for Microsoft and I have a free license of Visual Studio from the company, but if I use it for my personal project and then I try to get some money from that project, I'm not sure what will happen. Because those licenses are for personal use only, which makes them quite dangerous. That's why I'm hesitant about using this stuff, even though I have it. Add player. New player actions, this. I think this .player should be the thing I want to happen. .player formed, something like this. On left mouse button, and the interface for this stuff should be somewhere in that iPlayer actions. So any of this should do this. Okay, good. Void clicked unity event context something. Okay, so it's input action callback context, so I will not be able to move out from this crap. Where's... okay. JetBrains Rider. JetBrains Rider. Should I just manually install it? So, in chat, people say that JetBrains works better than VS Code with this stuff. Free 30-day trial. What is the price afterwards? Blog social buy. Cross-platform, blah blah blah. Meh. I'm not sure I want to pay for IDE right now. Probably I should switch Visual Studio to Community Edition. That should help. Also, those CS projects I'm having problems with are totally not relevant, and this stuff, it was working. So there is an option what might help in this case. It's not a beautiful solution, but let's try doing this, because probably, hopefully, no one will die. Let's just push everything. Then, come on, go ahead, push it. I want to just clean up any stuff that was generated and not checked in. And I should not remove any logs, because it will ruin the Unity editor. Probably something I'm doing right now will already ruin the editor. Let's see. It didn't. Somewhere something was expected. Okay, that's fine. Let's now open back the code. Wow, so Rider is really designed for Unity. That is cool. I mean, I'd love to use that. Performed plus equals this. Okay, so now we don't have any errors anywhere. Means something in some temporary files or something got stuck. And now it's resolved, and it doesn't tell me how to fix this in future, but okay, whatever. Dot pinky system scheme dot player dot also, I don't like the fact that I cannot use okay. Okay. What it was. Where that crap is. This stuff. Also, it's in a totally wrong folder, which is not cool. But, okay. Player actions. This, then it will tell me that I don't implement this properly. Will it? It will not, because this stuff is running in a different scope, I believe. Let's move it there. Try again. Cancel. Cancel. Okay, bad idea. Temp artifacts, okay, force quit. But it ruined Unity, as expected. So, will this stuff work? Will they tell me that it's not proper interface? It is. Why doesn't it give me an error? So what is happening right now is that I have this iPlayer Actions interface, which I should implement, but it just doesn't want to work. Okay, let's wait for Unity to load, reload the script, and do that. I dislike these errors. This is not the reason why I came. Already defines a member. Yeah, that is true, because it recreated the stuff. Because I need to go into this prefabs, player, this stuff, and here I should specify completely different path. Set scripts, player, pinky controller, save this. Yep, I want to replace it. Apply. And I want to delete this. Delete, please. Thank you. Bye bye. Subscripts, player, blah blah blah. Good. So now this stuff should be resolved. There is again issue with I hate this. Oh, this is so bad. This is so terrible. I mean, it's terrible to the point of me not being able to use it properly. Use static pinky controls. No, don't use static and implement the interface. Okay, at least it supported this stuff, but then it will never tell me what is inside the context. And I will need to figure it out manually, which is not why we're using tools at all. Okay, let's go to preferences, external tools. Let's try using this for now. I don't think one-time use will give me any problems. What? This? And here scenes, this stuff. And then let's try go in here. If something, I will just change. I will just use Rider from JetBrains. It's 30 days free, and afterwards I will figure something. Or I will change license on my Visual Studio. That is going to be painful, but I will figure. Okay. Now, let's go here again. And let's see if this stuff works now. No, it doesn't. Cannot navigate there. Just awesome. F6. Input system doesn't exist in name. Okay, so this is not the problem of VS Code. It's the problem of C# project. And must come before any interfaces. Okay, that's fine. That's something I can fix. Not like I can do anything with other stuff. Okay. What? Project generation. Index was outside bounds of theory. I love this stuff. So Unity doesn't seem to work fine with Visual Studio anymore. Or Visual Studio doesn't seem to work fine anymore. That's an option too. Should provide all the metadata, all the stuff, but okay. This input system doesn't exist. Great, just great. You see, the community wouldn't help me, community Visual Studio, because this input is not supported. Input system is just broken here too. Nah. Okay, so let's... Yeah, I have changed... yeah, I have changed the option in preferences, and so the question is if I change the preferences, and I did it here, and I don't think anything else should be different. But this stuff just doesn't work. You are missing the recommended JDK. These decays are not really necessary right now. So let's switch back to the Visual Studio Code first. Then let's close this, because it doesn't work anyway. I think I will install the JetBrains Writer after the stream, not during it. And for now, I will just have to suffer somehow through this. This is so funny. Like, it works if I clean up some temporary crap from somewhere, then but it ruins Unity. I mean, it ruins the whole Unity editor, and when I restart it, it recreates something that ruins this stuff back again. That's so funny. There must be the path where this stuff is. So when overriding Visual Studio C# integration, Visual Studio blah blah blah, even though okay, I see what's happening there. CSproj, and it will compile a bunch of stuff. So they are referencing this CSproj instead of referencing the package. And it ruins stuff for me, and it doesn't ruin stuff for them. Assembly name unity.input system. So most likely, if I do this as a hack around, is it okay? There's some following colon around. It's not from the net standard. It should be somewhere around. Unity engine, Unity engine, Unity engine, Unity engine, Unity engine, Unity editor. So my best bet is that somewhere around there is that input system, or in the packages. To some extent you're distracting me from problems. To some other, you're trying to help me out, because I don't seem to be able to find a simple solution for this. So again, it's not inside Unity. Then Unity extensions, Unity, Tango. Okay, Tango for Android is a different story. And the other option is that this stuff is in assets. So this input stuff should be somewhere. If it's being loaded, then it's somewhere in assets, but it is not. Okay, Unity, artifacts, parachutes, package library, package cache, good. And here it's input system, preview 6, good. And there inside it's input system / plugins / and I need unity.something something, I believe. So this is a bunch of metadata. This is not what I'm really looking for. I'm looking for actual CSproj or DLL or something. Let's order by type, C# source, metafiles, smdef, Holy Grail. Trying to find unity.input system or something related to it. This is wrong place. Let's do this. Unity.input system. Awesome, just awesome that it finds everything that is so much not relevant. .dll? Okay, it's not here. Okay, screw this, I've spent too much time. Let's just not do anything weird, and anyway, I will need some manual for this, so I'll just follow the manual more precisely. Each receives structure which holds content, .read value, and as I remember, read value is an object. Oh, okay, t-value, value, good. Script assemblies. Okay, so it's script assemblies inside library. Yay, unity dot anything. Awesome, thanks. So it means if I put it here, and it will get rewritten the moment I try to rebuild anything. And there are no C# files or whatsoever. Unity.input system and hint path is this. Come on. This. And now suddenly this works. Yay! Thank you. I need to save this line somewhere so I can hack it around anytime I need to. So that is the problem with my daily job. I've spent a lot of time hacking CS Proj files. Like literally putting some weird custom variables in there after reading some code on GitHub and that. You see, read value. So this read value even allows me to read unsafe value in C++ code, in unsafe code, which is closer to plus than to adequate stuff. But okay, read value, what can I put it into? I think into the stuff that I've selected there. So please just use default one. So for look, for example, I don't want to do this on move, and I don't want to throw anything on a move. Just don't want to throw anything at all. Read value, position. Here I'm saying that this look stuff is vector 2, which means I can read as vector 2, most likely. Position equals vector 2. And then I will add extra stuff to this interface, Void mouse moved into new position. I was thinking about subscribing and unsubscribing from stuff, but that doesn't sound right at all. Because I will need to track too much stuff, and if I don't unsubscribe something, stuff will stop working properly. That's not what I want to happen. Oh, this stuff should still be there, I believe, because pinky controls dot scheme dot. Yeah, I know that I can enable and disable, but I have a bunch of different controllers for different cases, and they all implement single interface, and I switch as a state machine, what I'm doing right now. And I don't want each block of the state machine to know about its own controls, because it's too much trouble keeping track that I've enabled and disabled all the necessary parts. That's just it. So I'm writing a bit worse code, I think, because controls depend on extra variables, on extra stuff, on extra input. But I'm writing way less code, and I'm less likely to screw up the code. So I will keep it like this. And it was something like, there was that method, so there was this method, set callbacks. Dot. How does this work? Dot set callbacks? Just like this? Will it do anything? Doesn't contain definition. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Controls.gameplay. The gameplay action map. We want to get about actions get triggered. Okay, action map. What is an action map in there? I guess something changed from that manual. Because devices enable gamepad scheme. There are a bunch of schemes which I can use. Then inside them I cannot do much. Doesn't contain definition for player. Good. What does it contain definition? Okay, so it's just input control scheme. Okay, I see. So I need this. And then I do this. And this is, I see, so this is the action map. Good. Why is it called player? I mean, I never called it player anywhere. Oh, because it's player here. I see, that makes sense. And I can rename. Awesome, got it. That is good, that is good. So I'm setting this up, then on move I will call current controller dot mouse moved context dot read value vector to this. And it's not on move, of course it's on look. Then left mouse buttons, right mouse buttons, middle mouse buttons. Some of the controllers require right mouse button. Also, it's not only current controller, it's also the scrolling controller, because it's always active. And the interaction controller. What? Camera scrolling controller. It is iCamera controller. So it should implement this interface. Oh yeah, I see, because yeah, I'm calling directly to the class and the class is not yet clever enough. Then interaction controller doesn't care about movements, so I won't do anything. Yep, that's good. Then on left mouse button. On left mouse button I only do something. Camera movement controller here, initialize, finish, mouse.current, and it's only for raycasts. Good. So process should be empty, for example here, but this stuff that is not implemented should be right here. This is ray from new position, something like this, and I will not have to call for map directly. I don't need input system anymore, and I will need to modify all of them like this. PC controls transform alt position. Okay, so it's not cam, it's hand. Good. On look. I'm thinking if I should implement, I probably should write all these logics first, and then think about other stuff. So the problem with left mouse button is what actions we have here. Button press point, hold time. So we have the point where button press point, blah blah blah, hold time. Okay, so we'll receive this action anytime the action occurs at all. What it means that here this on move thing, I mean any of those, get called on, performed, started, cancelled, all of them. And I have no clue what started or cancelled might mean for button, but let's at least assume that it will happen once per frame maximum. Hold. Left mouse button, hold. I should somehow transform this logic into what I have right there. But right mouse button was released this frame. Oh, that's a lot of thinking I have to do. Middle mouse button is the simplest. If we go into middle mouse button, then we will switch the controller. We'll have private a camera controller, previous controller equals now. Then here in late update we'll say if previous controller is not equal to current controller, then we'll close this up. Question mark dot. Okay. Then on middle mouse button we'll say that previous controller equals current, and if not, current controller is locked for whatever reason. And current controller equals rolling controller. This. And that should happen on the middle mouse button. Then on right and on left. What should happen on right and left? Problem with those buttons is that they mean different things depending on when you click them. For example, if you click left mouse button, it's actually always. So if not, current controller is locked. If current controller equals to movement controller, then we're switching into pitch, into roll, into rotation. Here we'll say previous controller equals current, so I don't have to keep track of this over here. Else current controller equals rotation, else movement. This is not right. Here. So if we're already holding left mouse button, means we're inside the movement controller. So this. Otherwise, if it's button, we'll add some extra logic here. Then on left mouse button, if we're interacting, then we will have to cancel the interaction, because we're not anymore. So if interaction controller dot, let's see, it must contain something, is interacting, cancel throwing. So so those things depend on mouse up and mouse down stuff. Okay, let's do this context dot read value as button. And it's boolean? Oh. How do I know if it's hold or if it's down? or if it started, or if it ended. Yeah, it is, of course. So yeah, right now I'm doing a lot of code and I'm not doing anything with Unity, so I can just make the full screen code. That's true. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, thanks. Just remind me to do this. I can forget because I have a monitor big enough so I can put two things. And with smaller scale, I can see everything happening in there, and also I have way higher resolution than you do on the stream. Because I don't yet have partnership with Twitch, and it means I'm not even able to use proper size. So for me, everything looks perfect either way, but for you, just please remind me. I keep forgetting that. So right now, this read value as button doesn't sound right at all, because this button thing doesn't make any sense. It can just contain a lot of different stuff. Oh, I see. So it's performed, started. Yeah, that's cool. This is good. Found it. I don't need to read it at all. It contains whatever I need. So, on left mouse button, we know that this is hold. So, if it's started, and we were doing something and we are now doing something. On hold. What are the other options? Press, tap, slow tap, tap. So I assume press is a single click, hold is when you hold it for some time. And let's just think that I can actually press here too. Press only, press and release. When wanting to customize button press behavior, for default press behavior, simply set the action type to button and use the action without interactions added to it. Ha. Note that press interaction is only necessary when wanting to customize button press behavior. For default press behavior, simply I want to customize it on press and release. I don't need hold for buttons, because I'm tracking this manually anyway. Yep. So this is the way to go. Press. Maybe I'm doing this in a way that is too custom. If context dot started, I assume they will tell me this as started and ended, or not. I have no clue how to find out. Save. So it didn't recreate anything. Started, performed, cancelled. Okay, let's compare them, because I'm totally not sure what is happening here. We'll use hold on left mouse button and we'll use something different on other mouse buttons, and we'll see what will come next. Okay, let's do this. Right mouse button. person clicks it. There are two possible options. First, he wants to interact. Second, he's already holding the left mouse button and now he wants to rotate something. Context.started. And the second option is that the action ended. I only care about started and ended. I don't care about holding, the fact of holding itself. Don't need to do anything about this. So right mouse button if started. If it's movement controller, then we're starting to rotate. Else interaction controller dot process mouse down. Else if context dot ended dot stopped dot something dot cancelled. That's better. Cancel, disabled, perform, started, and waited. Okay. Okay. I need to look for this. Unity, mouse down, up. How to use the hold interaction? Movement performed. Plus, move, read, blah blah blah. Same problem. It wasn't random, blah blah blah. What I have ended up with. Anchor position, movement process, start movement, weak. So this start movement, movement performed. From this callback. Oh my god, what is happening here? This start coroutine, movement process, callback context. And here it's read the. Ah, come on. I don't need this. I need to know what's inside of this thing. The action that got triggered. So context dot action. Action map, active control, bind and cancelled. I wonder what cancelled means. Name, performed, phase, processors. What is cancelled? Awesome. It doesn't mean anything. What? Cancelled. Cancelled. I do not understand anything at all. Button. You can use input action dot triggered. Input action dot triggered. Awesome. I still have no clue what it means. How do I know if it was pushed down or released? Like, what? The initial state check is useful. Search, pass through. Holy grail. Okay. Describing the current state of an interaction. What is this? The interaction is waiting for input. The interaction has been started, but is not complete. Performed is complete. Cancelled. The interaction was interrupted and aborted. For example, the user pressed and then released a button before minimum time required. Okay, so cancelled means that it got really cancelled. performed means that it is happening, or I think we should just experiment on this, because like what do those things mean? No idea. Performed. If current controller equals rotation controller, then controller equals hand movement. Actually, no. It equals just movement. Because if we're releasing the right mouse button, means we're still pressing the left one, and we'll process it in a different branch. I hope so. Else, direction controller dot process mouse up. Then here, on left mouse button, again, if it just started, there are options. First is that we have already right mouse button clicked. That means that in the interaction controller we have processed mouse down, but we haven't cancelled it or mouse up. Happening. Like this. And okay. And it's false. And then here it should get false regardless. And here it should get true in this case. Now should get true in any case. Here it should get false in any case. So now we can judge by this stuff. If something is happening, means something is happening. Okay, let's do this. Hide in inspector. Button is pressed. So first option is that in interaction controller button is pressed. It means that we were holding right mouse button. Yeah, good. Even if we do it outside of any objects, this is still correct. Good. Then cancel mouse down. This is not true. It doesn't mean that the button... Yeah, it means we should not redo this state. Good. Then current controller. So this thing happens regardless of current controller being locked or not. Now we should take this into account. Current controller equals rotation controller. Else movement controller. When it was released, context.performed. I have no clue what this performed will mean and when it will be called. But meh. I even know how to debug this. Should do it. Okay. Again, there are multiple options. First, that we're in rotation controller, and we should switch it into just movement controller. No, not movement, something different. Hand controller. Hand controller. And if it was not rotation, most likely it was movement. Actually, if we stop holding the left mouse button, we're moving or we're rotation, either way we should get into the hand controller. That's it. And on middle button we already have the process in there. And if those two things happen in the same frame, we will switch between them. So if we first get here, then we'll move into the hand controller. And this is kind of a problem. If dot button is pressed, good. Otherwise, we'll move into movement, and we'll get here, and we'll come here. So everything seems to be more or less fine right now. Then debug.log on left mouse button, and here we'll say context dot started performed phase. I will need all these to figure out what is really happening. We have different settings for left mouse button and right mouse button right now. So if I just keep track of what is happening, and I should have different starting phrase, so I don't miss one, so I don't think that the one is the other. Then let's implement those interfaces. If hand has moved, then let's do this. And yeah, we'll need the ray. Need this. New position is not used anywhere. The process is now empty. I'm not sure there ever will be anything in the process. Oh, it looks like my kid woke up. Means the stream will soon come to its end. I think I will have one more stream today in the evening, my evening. Okay, so this works with scroll, and it doesn't care about mouse movement. And the scroll and controller is not a controller in its proper manner. I mean, we never get this as the main state. It is just combined with everything else. Okay, rotation. Rotation is again only thinking about mouse movement. So we can move all the logic here. And it's just new position. Like this. Where do I use this input system? Mouse current position read value.
That is streaming.
Hey! Yep, I'm streaming here. Hi! You wanna join? Hi, Teen! Hey! The little one decided to join the stream.
I haven't been watching your stream because I uninstalled Switch.
Huh?
How's your stream doing?
I have some viewers, but not a lot. but I'm trying to keep it consistent, so I'll get more in future. Listen, let me please complete what I'm fixing right now, and then I will come play with you. What do you think? You can just sit here. Just don't press any buttons, please. Because you know I'm fixing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good looking office.
And this is rolling. Okay.
Meow.
Meow?
Yeah. Yeah, meow circle.
Ah, you saw a kitten in the chat room in there. Yeah, that was a kitten.
Meow, meow.
Meow meow. A kitten. So this is the new position, and again here in initialization I have current mouse position. References? Which references you mean? Little one. So yeah, I will fix this stuff a bit later. Oh, okay, I see. Fix everywhere. Should not have direct access to this stuff. That's microphone. You're touching microphone.
No.
I'm not sure you should, but you can. Obviously you can. And I'm not yet processing scrolling gracefully, but I will not be able to do much more today. So let's just check that this stuff does something useful. And that is it. So let's see. Mouse movement is this is a problem. Okay. So started false, performed false, phase cancelled. So I see with left mouse button what is happening is if I click left mouse button, then it gets to listen. What are you doing? You're playing with the microphone. So it says that it's started when I start the click. It says that it performed when I keep clicking long enough, and then when I release, it gives the phase cancelled, regardless of what I'm doing. Yeah, it's always cancelled. If it's short or long click, it doesn't matter. And performed means that I'm really holding it, not just starting to hold. Then, right, you see the delay. And this delay is not related to frames per second, it's not related to anything. Okay, with right mouse button. Down. Awesome. Right mouse button. So what? Let me clear this. And let's do this. True. Perform. So it comes twice right away when I click it. And when I release it, it comes twice again with performed and cancelled. I didn't introduce any delay, and it might be related to CPU. For example, let's try getting here. Let's see. 12%, 11, 12%, 15% of GPU. So it's not really heavy on anything, but 14 seconds, 13 milliseconds. And CPU gets even less delay when I'm moving, which is slightly weird, but it's good for me. And if I stop the stream, then this starts to work perfectly fine. I don't know why.
Why?
Yeah, why? Okay, final fixes. Final fixes would be to adjust this thing.
Why?
No.
Why?
Be a bit more gentle. You're asking why?
Yeah, why?
I don't know why. That's the problem, you know. So here I should set everything up as left mouse button, so I should change everything to hold. Then I wouldn't just care about the hold action, and that would be fine. Or one more option. I should just remove everything. Let's see what will happen then. Plus 5 more minutes, and I will stand up and go play with you. That's good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Means yes. So, okay, yeah, I didn't turn on the console. 1 second, Alice. So it's performed and cancelled, performed and cancelled. That's awesome, that's just exactly what I need. One of them means performed is true, the other performed is false. Good. This is just this. I should just stick to defaults. Do. 1 minute. This. I'm removing this everywhere. Then it's performed or not performed. Just 2 simple options. And I'm not receiving anything during the hold, so this is how it should be. Dot performed. And this. And here, if it's performed, else
Papa,
equals.
Papa, tell me. No.
Listen, wait a bit, please. This, and now I can hopefully safely remove this bunch of code. And I don't care about pressing buttons this frame, and I don't care about this, and I don't care about any updates at all. What's up? That's boring. I'm not playing any games, I'm just writing some code. That must be quite boring. Yeah, 1 second. So, let's just validate that it works. So left mouse button works, left and right combo works with the delay, but it does. Right and left mouse button, they do work in any matter. Then this stuff works. Then the interaction as the most weird part. Up. This, so I can hold stuff, I can drop it back, I can turn around without grabbing anything, I can grab stuff and then turn around without dropping it, regardless which buttons I hold, and I can slightly drop stuff, because otherwise I have these huge legs, and I have the ball working. Okay, awesome. Everything seems to be fine now. I will get going. I will probably continue today in the evening, but probably, I'm not totally sure. It will be in like 5 hours, something like that. If it will be. I will announce separately on Twitter and I will start the stream, so the ones who follow me will notice. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We're done migrating. We're almost done migrating to the new style of controls. See you next time. Have a good day.